the good thing that I did at that time, I said, I don't believe in bad days. So yes, yesterday everything was really bad, but today I have a chance to change it. I think it's just remembering that no matter how hard things are, how hard things look, you have a moment and the power in that moment to change everything.
In this episode of the Reimagine podcast, I had the privilege of speaking with the visionary behind the Belle de Jour planner, Darlyn Ty-Nilo. Her journey is nothing short of remarkable. A high achiever who faced her share of failures yet rose to create a planner that resonates with the modern, organized Filipina. Our conversation felt like I'm having a session with a life coach, as if I was speaking with a living, breathing embodiment of Belle de Jour itself. That is why I am so thrilled to bring you this conversation where Darlyn shares her insights on the power of vision boards, her path on becoming a beacon for women empowerment, and discover her journey on how she turned her dream into a reality and how you can too. And this episode is more than just a story. I feel that this is a call to action for every woman to embrace her potential. Welcome to Reimagine Philippines, where we shine the spotlight on young Filipino thought leaders, entrepreneurs, and change makers. And today's guest is someone who may have been already part of your life. She certainly is in mine, the empowered woman, the brilliant mind behind Viviamo and Belle de Jour, the go-to planner of every modern, organized Filipina. Welcome to the podcast, Darlene.
Thank you, Jackie. Thank you for having me here.
Well, for the first question, we are very curious. How do you plan your day? Paano
Paano yung
pinaplano ng
pinaplan
creator ng
ng
Belle
Belle
de
de
Jour?
Jour? So, I don't do it on a day-to-day basis. Like, in general, diba, I use a calendar, a digital calendar, plus my planner together. And majority of the users of the BDJ Power Planner, even from before, like the start, kasi we do a market research survey on how they use the planner, how is it helpful, ganyan. And always, like, 80% of the Bellas actually use a digital calendar alongside of their planners. So, sometimes people say it's parang digital age, diba? So, wala nang gumagamit ng planner. But the Bellas actually use them in tandem. So, what we say actually to people sometimes who ask, it's your getting things done system.
Getting things done system.
So you have digital, but you also have something tactile, like a planner. So with how I plan my day, I start really looking at what's my appointments, which is in my digital calendar. Then I write down what I need to do within my planner. And throughout the day, when I have meetings, all my thoughts, my ideas goes into the planner. When I need to decompress, sinusulat ko din siya sa planner. When there's sudden meetings or like meetings that I have to schedule, I write it in the monthly calendar. So I have a full view of the whole month. So like ko, 9 a.m., 11 a.m., ganyan. Keywords lang. I have the same in my digital calendar. So either way, kita ko siya somewhat aligned. And then on a day-to-day basis, on a week-to-week basis, I write things down because it's a way for me to release the stress.
Writing things down.
Writing things down helps me release the stress, and writing naturally organizes your thoughts. So it's like how our brain works na the right brain, the left brain, when it comes together, when you write things down.
So yun nga, gaano kahalaga na we still write things
Write things
down.
Very important because based on how our brain works, you remember things 7 times more effective when you write it down versus typing it or swiping it in your phone. So you get to process it a bit more when you write it down. And I mean, some basic lang, diba? Some people don't want to write kasi bagal, ang hirap mag-write, ang haba, or mas matagal.
Nakakapagod din magsulat. Yeah.
But those energy, the reason it feels that way is because you use more brain power You use more neurons. That's why it's 7 times more effective because mas madami kang ginagamit na brain power.
So it's good for those who are reviewing.
It's good for those who are reviewing. It's good for anyone who wants to remember anything.
For multitaskers.
For multitaskers, you want to remember and you want to plant it in your head. You kind of have to write it.
The
Or it just, I mean,
go-getters.
yeah, it works more effectively.
Why target Filipino women? Why target Filipinas?
Filipinas.
Yeah, the Filipino market.
The Filipina market, like women in particular.
Yes, women in particular.
So it all started 19 to 20 years ago when I started with the BDJ Power Planner. The reason I focused on women and not just the general market, na working professionals, is because I realized women, when I was doing like market research interviews, like asking what do you want in a perfect planner and how do you plan and so on, all of these things. It was women or Filipinas in particular who are more, yung mas maarte sila sa planner nila.
Oh,
Kasi,
I am that.
guys, na I mean, not trying to generalize, but during
Yes.
that time when you were doing the research survey, is that parang kahit anong notebook na ibigay mo, okay na. So the target market that we were looking for with the BDJ planner is that someone na who takes the time to buy and choose what kind of planner will fit their lifestyle. So meron siyang additional alam mo yung intention or gravitas toward this category. Kasi they feel attached na, oo nga, I believe a planner can really help my lifestyle, help me manage the many things that I'm doing, help me achieve my goals. Right? So, yun yung mga people na gusto talaga namin kausapin. The people wherein their goals matter to them, the people who want to organize their life. So, because that's important to them, hindi nila baliwalain kung ano yung tool na yung makakatulong sa kanila.
But how did it start? Did it start with you?
It
With the
started
story?
with me. It started with me because in 2000 so the first planner I made for myself is in 2006. And it started because in 2005 I got one of the lowest point in my life wherein I graduated with a lot of honors in UP Diliman. I graduated from business administration and accountancy. I had like some marketing dean awards, mga ganyan, marketing competitions. But right after college, I was offered different jobs in multinationals. Kasi yun yung track, yun yung
Career
path,
path, yes.
diba? But siguro, versus my other batchmates, I decided to take the boards and do work at the same time. So I was doing 14-hour work days, Mondays to Fridays, and weekends I was reviewing for the boards for 12 hours straight, 7
Wow.
a.m., 7 p.m. So I
Okay.
was literally a zombie during that time. Pero sabi ko, okay lang yan, kakayanin ko siya. But I crashed and failed. Hindi ko siya kinaya. I was conditional passing and I didn't get regularized in my job.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
it was like being on top of the world and suddenly everything fell apart and then you feel, and maybe some of your audience would had that feeling wherein you just feel that you don't have any more hope and wala ka ng future kasi lahat nawasak, diba? The day after, I decided, no, this cannot be my life. This cannot be like na all my achievements were just in high school or college. I mean, college pala kasi kakatapos ko ng college. I need to get out of this mess. So I decided to write down my goals. And then I reviewed like what are the things that work for me and did not work for me in that 1 year out of college. And I thought during that time when I was like processing myself, I go, baka hindi ko manage yung time ko ng maayos. So I read different time management books. And then I decided, okay, I need to have a tool that will help me manage my time better. So I designed my first planner. But more than the time management, what I realized was I wasn't clear with what I wanted to do with my life.
Oh, that is important.
Meaning, I just wanted to have a good job,
Yes.
maybe work abroad, have money. Like, yeah, very generic.
Yes,
But hindi
yes.
siya yung, ano ba talaga yung calling mo sa puso? Ano ba talaga yung gusto mong gawin? And I realized that the decisions I made at that time that that caused all these failures was I made a decision to take on the job because I felt sayang yung opportunity.
Mm.
I took the board exams even if I knew I didn't want to practice. And at that time, I'm very vocal. Sinabi ko, kahit bayaran ako 1 million pesos a month, I don't want to practice accountancy.
Oh,
As
wow.
in ganung level. And yet, I took the boards. So, I allowed myself to be pressured by the opportunities. Kasi hindi naman ako pressure ng parents ko. Hindi naman ako pressure ng friends ko. But I just felt that sense of scarcity na if I don't take this opportunity, di ba yung quote, opportunity doesn't knock twice? So,
Yes.
pag there's
When
a
the
opportunity, parang
when the
gusto mo
door of
siyang
opportunity
you
opens,
wanna grab
you
it.
grab
But I
it.
realized that's not true.
Okay.
Meaning, you shouldn't grab every opportunity that just appears right in front of you. You have to really know, what do you want?
Mm.
So at that time, I grabbed those opportunities even if they weren't 100% resonating with me. I just did it kasi sayang.
Mm.
So that's what happened. Na parang even if I did work so hard for the work and the board exams, it didn't work out for me because I was making a decision or a choice out of fear, out of scarcity. So that's what I realized when I was processing everything after all the
After you
after all
crashed,
the
yeah.
failures. Kaya
Mm-hmm.
with the BDJ planner, and I think you asked me about this earlier, is
Mm-hmm.
we always have the vision board.
Yes.
We also always want to ask you guys, what are your goals before you do any kind of planning?
Mm-hmm.
I want you to think about, or we want the users to think about, ano ba yung vision nila sa life nila?
Mm-hmm.
And then, ano yung gusto talaga nilang gawin?
Mm-hmm. So for our listeners and our viewers, ito yung gusto ko sa BDJ. I've gone through a lot of planners. I've collected stickers from an expensive coffee shop for the planner. But BDJ, I like the vision board, the budget tracking.
Yes.
And then there's this, what am I grateful for today?
Yes,
Yes.
correct.
So, gumamit ka ba ng vision board? Or
Well, during
does it
that
does it
time,
work?
I really believe in the concept of the vision board. Like, there's a lot of Bellas na after they put pictures in their planner,
Mm-hmm.
and then, ito yung gusto nilang gawin, ito, nangyari siya sa kanila.
Yeah.
It's actually, di ba, people would say it's manifestation, or
Yes.
di ba yung
Mm-hmm,
sinasabi
mm-hmm.
nating woo-woo. But it's actually biological.
Hmm.
It's science-based that whatever you focus on expands. So whatever you put on your vision board, it's just very, very clear that you're telling yourself, your mind, your body, your heart, that this is something that you want. And because you're staring at it, you're looking at it every day, and then parang in your subconscious, your conscious state, you know that's something you want.
Mm-hmm.
You're more attracted to things that you might not necessarily understand that will lead you towards it. They said this with cars, for example. So if you're eyeing like a red car,
Mm-hmm.
na parang, may nakita ko sa this car brand and then I want to buy this red car. Then suddenly, when you're walking around or commuting, you're walking or riding someone else's car, you see that red car a lot.
Mm.
Kasi yun yung mapapansin mo dahil your mind sort of locked in na, I like
Ah.
this.
Oh, wow.
So it's like that selective attention.
Yes.
So that selective attention, and this is something that we do on an everyday basis, but we're not conscious of it.
Mm-hmm.
So we focus our mind on certain things on a daily basis. Because kung hindi tayo mag-focus, masisiraan tayo ng ulo.
I agree.
Masisiraan tayo ng ulo.
I
Diba?
tend to multitask, and I
Oo,
think
so-
that is something that we should avoid.
So to be honest, we really can go crazy if we don't focus on certain things. So our mind will naturally focus on the things that we tell ourselves to focus. So that's why when you're focusing on gratitude,
Yeah.
you become more appreciative of life because you're looking at something very positive. Yung sincere na gratitude, hindi yung para may mag-gratitude lang ah.
So that is why you have the line, today I am grateful for.
Today I'm grateful for. And this year we inserted in the monthly calendar, today or this month I'm amazed with the universe by. Like, sometimes throughout our lives or minsan throughout our day, you're just surprised na, oh my God, this happened. Diba? Tapos parang nag-crave ako ng, for example, milk tea, tapos suddenly
Yeah.
binigyan ka or binilhan ka ng milk tea. Like, diba? Yung parang matutuhan, wow, parang
It
I got,
happened.
yeah, it happened. So, if you focus on those kinds of moments, you're able to attract more of those things. Kasi yun yung energy na you put out in the world. And that's where the selective focus comes because this is what I'm focusing on. So that's the part that expands. Now you make that the opposite. Like you focus on negative things. You focus on the drama in your life na parang, wala na akong magawa eh. Ang hirap kasi talaga ng buhay. Sobrang stress, sobrang ganito. It amplifies all that.
And
Because
it's
that's,
biological.
yes, it's biological. Because that's what you want to focus on.
Yeah.
So parang inaalis mo yung iba. So since inaalis mo yung iba, ito, nag-expand. Does that make sense? Diba parang
Yeah.
pag tumingin ko, normally ganyan kalaki yung ano, tas parang sabi mo, I will focus on this. So dito ako mag-focus ako on the negativity. And then as you get absorbed by it, it looks like it expands. Then until it parang overpowers you or something like that, diba? Na you sometimes feel that that's reality already because you couldn't zoom out. So, yun, whatever you focus on expands. Negativity expands, positivity expands, excuses expand. So, kung I
Yeah, the
didn't achieve my
alibis.
goals kasi ito yung nangyari. Ito
Uh-huh.
nangyari. It's one thing after the other, Dar. Parang, it's outside my control. I agree. There's a lot of things outside our control. But at the same time, there are also things that are within our control.
You are the BDJ.
Diba? Yun. So, magkaiba yun.
Parang kausap ko yung Belle de Jour ngayon. I mean, you are the creator,
Yeah.
but alam mo yun, parang ko siyang kausap. Like, kausap ko ikaw every day. Like, what am I grateful for? Oh nga, no, wait lang. Sulat ko nga muna.
Oo, kasi, ano parang it's sometimes so hard to enjoy life if you keep on focusing on the negative and granted talaga, madaming challenges.
Yeah. Speaking of challenges, what were
Diba,
the challenges with...
business. So that was the first challenge of my life, diba? When everything crashed and failed. And it's the fear of failure, the fear of lagapak. Kasi I was on top of the world and imagine the humiliation
Yeah.
after that. But I had to stand up because I felt like I didn't want this to be the end of my life. Meaning that my story of success ends here. That's what I meant. So I wanted to change it. So I was like, okay, I'll start from scratch and I'll set new goals. I'll figure out what can get me out of bed every morning and then I'll do something. So those days I didn't have a job, but I woke up every day at 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Same thing as if I had a job. And then I just thought of things that I can do.
How did you restart?
You just commit that I'm gonna start this, and even if it's gonna suck, I'm gonna start it.
Oh,
Gets, and then you
yeah.
just adjust along the way. Yeah, parang, but at least you're committing to showing up and then figuring out along the way how do you fix it, how do you adjust it, para
Adjust along the way.
pumasok sa kung saan mong gustong vision mo of it.
And speaking of vision, just to share with you, I drew in my old BDJ like years ago. I want to be an anchor for the television I worked for, and it happened on that same year.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's just
Kaya,
one of
yeah.
the drawings I did on my BDJ. So how about you?
Sa
Did you
akin,
made a vision board
Meron
before
vision board din
before
ako.
BDJ?
Not before BDJ. But in one parang notable thing for me na nagkatotoo na from a vision board, from my vision board, is working with UN Women.
Oh, wow.
Like, it was in my vision board that I wanted to work with UN Women. I had like different organizations. Part din ng dream ko is ma-meet si Oprah. So, nakasulat yan. So, i-declare ko. Baka meron tayong ano. But, yeah, it's in, like, that. It's part of my vision board. And I think that's what's interesting about it. You don't even realize it until you get it. Na parang, nandiyan pala siya sa subconscious ko na somehow leading me towards this direction. But I guess that's how powerful our mind is. We just need to acknowledge na unapologetically, this is what I want. This is what I want to be able to attract. You don't get so obsessed about it that parang nanggigigil ka na parang,
Yeah.
ano ba lahat ng opportunities na pwedeng ganito para umabot ako dito. Hindi eh. It's just that you declare it,
And you attract it.
you attract it because of the subconscious focus, and then at the same time when you look at it, yeah, this is something that I want. This is something that excites me.
But how do you create a vision board? It sounds so simple. Like you put your dreams there, you do cutouts. So I draw or you write.
Yeah.
But how do you use a vision board, particularly with Belle de Jour?
Well, there's no right or wrong way of doing it.
Should you be very specific or just give us
Ako-
tips? Yeah.
Ako, energy. The energy that you want. The pictures.
Oh.
The energy of the pictures. That's very important.
So you do cutouts.
I do cutouts. So I do cutouts, and then when we do like vision board exercises, may
Yeah.
pictures talaga kami. And meron rin kaming words.
Oh.
Kasi sometimes, diba, parang some words resonate with us more.
Yeah.
Na this is the emotion, this is the feeling that I want. So I would focus on the vision boards about the experience of yourself that you want to freeze in time. Na this is who I want to be. Because sometimes we get so fixated na, I want 1 million pesos in my bank account. Like ganyan. So it's very specific, right? But what is the feeling that you want? I want 1 million pesos in my bank account so I don't have to worry about my day-to-day expenses, my ganito. Maybe yun yung reason. So that's the bigger goal. It's not the 1 million pesos. Because if you get fixated with the 1 million pesos, feeling mo that's the only way to get this bigger goal. When you don't know what can bring you to that sense of na what if it's 10 million pesos and then you reach that, right? Or what if you got a business, you don't have exactly that in your bank account, but you don't have to worry about anything else already because it's self-sustainable. Like there's many ways to achieve that bigger goal. So it's actually, if you're a follower of Mind Valley, Vishen Lakiani, the founder, would separate it means goal versus end goals.
Means goals versus end
End
goals.
goals. So yung means goal is that 1 million pesos. The end goal is this is how I want to feel. Get? Kasi if you're you're so fixated with the means, parang feeling mo yun lang yung only way to reach this end. Okay, kung nakuha mo siya, then it's good, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes, even when you get it, you don't feel fulfilled or happy. Because what
Kasi
if...
parang may kulang.
Exactly.
Or how to make
so
it
meaning, what if,
sustainable.
sinabi ko, yung goal ko 1 million, and what if may 1 million pesos ako sa bank, pero madami akong utang, madami pa rin akong bills. So, hindi ko na-achieve yung financial freedom that I really wanted with
Yeah.
that intention. Doesn't make sense. So,
Yeah,
parang,
yeah.
it doesn't give me what I truly wanted. I just focus na, akala ko ito. So sometimes it happens also sometimes with the job, right? Na we target a certain job, a certain role, or parang the idea na I'm a business owner. We talked about like a lot of people wanting to go into business. And ako, I encourage that. But at the same time, in the many years I've been in business, and the different people that I've met, not everyone is suited for business.
Oh.
It's
well,
such
I
a
think
hard
the kids
truth.
need to, to
It's
hear
such a
that.
hard truth sometimes.
Why?
But
Oh.
it's not easy.
Yeah.
And it tests you in ways that you don't. And again, my philosophy in life is you choose your hard. Everything's hard, guys.
Choose your
So you choose your
battle.
hard. Yeah. It's hard to be an employee. It's hard to be a consultant. It's hard to be a freelancer. It's hard to be an entrepreneur. It's hard to be anything. But you have to figure out which hard are you willing to parang bear.
Yeah.
Diba? And which hard is gonna inspire you. Yeah. So those are the things na parang everyone needs to sort of figure out. It's you choose your heart because everything's gonna be hard. It's as an entrepreneur, sabi nila, you have your own time. You can control this. Yes, to a certain extent. Pero you have to figure out a lot of things for other people.
Oh, yes. Kasi
You're
hindi
in-
lang yung life mo
Hindi
yung
lang life
alagaan
mo eh. So
Yeah.
parang minsan kung push comes to shove, hindi mo control time mo kasi kailangan mo supportahan yung mga ibang tao in your team, right? you're an employee, yes, there's some things outside your control, pero maybe when you leave the office, you don't have to worry about it. Diba? If the company doesn't reach target, maybe eventually you'd lose your job, but in the short time, you know that you have your sweldo at the end of the
Yeah,
month
may
or something like
inaasahan
that.
kang
May aasan.
kinsenas.
Yeah. So, it's those things that all of it are hard. You kind of just choose which ones feeling mo, kakayanin mo, and at the same time, excites you. Kasi sabi ko nga, it has to be the positive side of things.
When did that epiphany of this planner will work happen?
Nagulat ako kasi when we started, we produced like the first run was 1,500 copies.
When was that?
2006 for 2007 planner.
Okay.
So when I was counting my friends, I didn't have 1,000 friends, so I wasn't sure how we're gonna sell the planner. So nagulat ako that in 3 weeks it got sold out
Wow.
in the first year.
That's
So
that's huge.
yeah,
In three
because
weeks, 1,000 planners in 3 weeks?
1.5.
Okay.
I was so shocked because and I would credit it because there were people that helped us in terms of like media. Like Apple's Aberin like wrote an article about us in Philstar. I didn't know her, but siguro she saw our planner in the bookstore, right? And then she just resonated with the concept and she just loved it and then she posted and maybe yun. Their other friends, word of mouth eh. It was just super word of mouth. And imagine this is in 2006. Wala pang I mean, there was already Facebook, but it's not yet as
Yes, yes.
like right now, diba? It's like it's such a different time. So I was just surprised how fast it went. And doon ko na-realize that we have something. But I still wasn't sure about starting that business. Because remember, I was already traumatized about my massive failure, diba? So when I started the business, I didn't tell my parents. I told my parents nung pa-sold out na. I used my own money, but the money that I used is just 4,000 pesos. That was the capital I used for the business. The price for our artist was 8,000 pesos that time. 4,000 binayad ko. So medyo inutang ko yung 4,000. Sabi ko, pag nabenta ko na,
Tsaka kayo
sakit
bumalik.
kita babayaran. So, ganun siya. It was like really like that. And then when we sold out in 3 weeks, I was so surprised. In fact, I wasn't expecting to earn money because it was like a passion project. Tapos yung joke pa sa akin ng one of my mentors, sabihin mo, you're doing advocacy. Although may advocacy naman talaga.
Yeah.
Like a percentage of the profits. Pero sabi niya, para at least pagtatanungin ka if you earn money, sabi mo, it's for advocacy. So parang hindi nakakahiya that you lost money or that you just broke even or something like that. So parang, if you imagine it, parang my setup was, I wasn't imagining na mabilis siya. But I was very lucky. And I honestly think the reason that it worked out was because the concept resonated with a lot of people. It came out at the right time.
What do you think made it resonate with a lot of people?
People wanted to have something that will help them achieve their goals.
What was in that Belle de Jour planner? I'm so curious. Because I know the Belle de Jour planner now. I mean, even in the recent years. But what was in the first 2 years that made...
I think it was the first planner that really just talked to women directly. At that time, right now we have a lot of women brands or women specific brands. But before, I think hindi pa siya ganun ka talked about or that it started. And the reason, again, I said I decided to focus on women because when we were doing some interviews and surveys, women were more particular about the planner that they're using. So in terms of the category, mas gusto talaga nila ng planner. Pag guys, parang kahit ano lang. So parang if you're gonna pour your heart and soul on a product or, diba, an industry, you kind of hope or want na the people that who are gonna get it or the market. I mean, yung invested din sila in the choices sa pagpipilian din.
So parang personalized planner for the women.
Oo.
Fit for the Filipinas.
Fit for the Filipinas. And particularly, yung sinabi mo kanina, mahilig ka mo multitask, diba? Kasi
Yeah.
multitasker din ako. So parang, in a way, we designed the planner na parang you have you're balancing your multiple roles.
Mm.
'Di ba? Like for me now, I'm a mom, but when I started, I was single, but I was like an ate. I was like, 'di ba? Parang I was the eldest in our family. I also had friends, I also had work, I had, 'di ba? So many roles that we play. And I guess across the years, you also realize that women carry more mental load than guys because of all the roles that they carry. So, whether that's how our brain works.
Yeah.
So, madaming ganon. So, parang that's the one that I wanted to help create the balance. And sometimes, nagkakaroon ng culture here in the Philippines, unahin natin yung iba versus ourselves. So, one of the messages of BDJ was also just, you have to fill up your own cup. So that's why it introduced concepts of self-care. But I think the most important talaga na paulit-ulit kasi nasabi is like, siguro kami yung first na nagsabi na think about what you really want. Don't just make goals just for the heck of it. Or parang the planner is not just your to-do list or your diary reporting, but you try to really live an intentional life. Like try to design the life that you really love. Like
Oh, I like that. Design the life that you
you
really
really
love.
love. A life full of joy and love. Kasi parang sometimes we wake up in the morning or we go through our days na frustrated about our lives and then what are we doing? Are we just waiting na suddenly pagising natin, perfect na yung buhay natin?
Mahirap yan.
Diba? So, hindi naman yung mangyayari. So, you have to sort of tweak, create, adjust in your life na ano yung mga kailangan gawin para you're living the life of your dreams.
So the content of Belle de Jour is based on your experience and your
Based on my
team.
experience, based on the people that we talk to, based on the Bellas like you, na gumagamit ng planner and telling us like, this works, this doesn't work. In fact, every year, nagsasurvey talaga kami asking the
Ah.
Bellas like, what do you like about the planner? What you don't like about the planner? And then we adjust accordingly.
Ano yung hindi mawawalang content sa planner?
The
Sa Belle de Jour.
inspiration, the affirmation.
Oh, I agree. I like it.
Kasi,
Yeah.
wala, sometimes we forget to affirm ourselves, 'di ba? So, kailangan talaga yung affirmation. And, of course, yung goal setting. Kasi, I want everyone, parang, I guess it's one of my mission also, to help people reach a certain kind of clarity in terms of what do they want to achieve in their lives. And when you have clarity, then you will have more confidence, then you'll get conviction.
I don't know with the viewers and the listeners here, but I feel like I'm getting free mentorship, free mentoring from Dar. What would you advise the young Filipinas? How would they restart their lives? Kasi lalo na ngayon, daming
Daming talagang
distractions.
distraction. I think it's just accepting that you don't get 100% clarity immediately. Sometimes kasi, or let's say, I want to set up my goals, I want to set up my vision board, or all of these things. May expectation na alam ko na lahat ng gusto kong mangyari sa buhay ko. But the truth is, you won't know. Like I would say, I have a semblance of what I want, and I have a picture of it. But I'm not also as fixated na ito lang yun, or ito kailangan ganito siya. So, it's really understanding and accepting that even if your goal is to get clarity, you won't necessarily get 100% clarity.
Oh.
Yes. And then number two, it's really owning your power. Meaning, even if there's so many challenges on a day-to-day basis and you feel like the world is against you, may power ka pa din. May power ka pa rin to choose on how you're gonna respond and react to certain things. You can be creative, being open to creative solutions and how you can solve certain problems that you have. So, kasi if you don't own the power, sabihin mo, wala na akong magagawa.
Oh.
You're playing victim and then mas lalo kang walang magagawa.
I think a lot of our viewers and listeners could relate to that. So, anong gagawin?
Oo. Kasi, kaya you have to change the mindset eh. Na parang, oh no, I'm a person na may magagawa ako. So, kung may magagawa ako, ano yung gagawin ko? Or ano yung magagawa ko? No matter how small. Kasi sometimes, parang feeling lang natin, kaya wala tayong magagawa kasi we can't do something big. So, we put on that unnecessary expectation na before may magagawa ko, dapat yung gagawin ko bongga or kailangan it changes the world immediately in this one step. So then, you get stuck that I won't do any steps at all. Kasi yung step na naisip ko, hindi naman mag-change ng world, hindi naman mag-change ng circumstances, diba? But in that small step, and ano yun, diba, sa Frozen 2. There's a song, The
Okay.
Next Right Thing. Tama ba? If my memory serves me correctly. So, when you do the next right thing, so that's just the immediate, sometimes that's when the next appears. But if you don't even do that small step after, this does not appear. So sometimes we're so scared of doing the first step because we don't know what step 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 looks like. But what if step 2 does not appear unless you do step 1?
So the step one is the most difficult part.
The most difficult part.
Just do it.
Just do it. Babalik tayo sa
Well,
just do it.
aside from Anna and Elsa, who do you consider your mentors?
Oh, I
Mentor,
have a lot of,
mentors.
madami akong
Or maybe
mentors.
just one.
People I look up to, like people who helped me at the beginning of my business is Josiah Go, Chicky Go. They helped me at the beginning of my business talaga. They're the people who believed in me. Syempre, aside from my parents who really believe in me. In terms of mentors in business, in terms of innovation, yung mga ganyan, it's really a lot of looking at different people. Kasi no one person has the answers for you. Kasi you're trying to design something that's something uniquely you, right? So, medyo ang hirap din. But that's also a belief, ah.
You know what my realization is? Hindi siya planner.
Hindi siya plan.
It's a guide.
It's a
Right?
guide.
It's a guide.
It's a tool to help you be more aware with what you want. And then because you're more aware with what you want, the intention is you will go after it.
Well, for my second to the last question, hirit akong dalawa. Okay, second to the last question, who is Sabella?
For me, the Bella is just any Filipina or any woman who wants to go after their goals and their dreams. So sometimes, so syempre we also have like guy users or gay users or anyone in the, parang we just allow it because it's not about gender as well, but more than that, it's really just someone who wants to go after their dreams. So one of the words that we coined is dream empowerment. So
Empowerment.
we combine the words dream and empowerment kasi that's really just our goal. Now with every product that we create, we encourage the people to feel dream powered. So you empower yourself through your dreams, through your vision, through that bigger version of yourself that's sometimes so hard to see and commit to. Diba? Kasi we just see ourselves small and with all the insecurities. But what if you see yourself as this person with limitless potential?
Well, my last question would be, if you could go back to the time that you were so down, feeling blue, and you think that your world has crashed,
Nangyari rin yun during the pandemic, by the way, guys. I'm very clear. Nangyari yun before. But it also happened during the pandemic.
and since our audience is the young audience, ayan, what would you tell that young Dar? Like, how would you reimagine her world?
I think it's just remembering that no matter how hard things are, how hard things look, you have a moment and the power in that moment to change everything. Imagine what happened to me that time. Everything crashed, right? Meaning people don't understand it, but UP, we always have 100% passing. Imagine I'm one of the people who caused that hindi kami 100%. Hindi yun small thing. Nakakahiya yun. 'Di ba? I got a job wherein only 3 of us were offered a job. And I didn't get regularized. So imagine you get all these distinction and then in less than a year, nawala lahat. And sinabi ng mundo, you don't pass. You're not good enough. Right? That's a crash and fail. But what I chose the day after, instead of crying and feeling bad for myself, I'm not saying you shouldn't, but but I'm saying the good thing that I did at that time, I said, I don't believe in bad days. So yes, yesterday everything was really bad, but today I have a chance to change it. And I don't want to be stuck in that. Ang sama eh. Bakit I don't want to be stuck in that. So I want to change it. So what can I do today to change it? I just wrote down on paper and then went to a computer to do my goals. And the goals was the one that inspired me. Okay, okay, sige, may possibility pa. May pwede pa kang gawin sa buhay. It's not the end of the world. It was that eh. So, I think that's really my message to anyone going through a rough time eh. You have to pull something deeper, 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 deeper inside you and just imagine a better future and write it down so it becomes a bit more tangible and work towards it. What I wrote is not what I have right now, by the way.
Oh, really?
What I wrote is I wanted to be a marketing professional in a multinational company.
Oh,
It
wow.
was anchored on what I lost. But the point kasi is not what you write. It's not even the goal. It's just you getting in that space of opening up possibilities. Kaya sinasabi ko sa'yo, it's the energy, guys. It's not the, i-check natin, tama ba to? Maganda ba yung sinudat mo?
Or 1 million ba to?
Oo, 1 million ba to? Is it big enough? Is it small enough? Is it
Yeah.
tangible? It's not that eh. It's you just getting out of whatever stuck energy you have and just imagine something bigger.
Imagine something bigger.
Imagine, yes.
Yeah, it's reimagined. Okay, would you like to promote anything? And you wrote something.
For anyone who just resonated, I guess
Yeah.
follow us in social media. And I love BDJ. And we also have a Facebook group. It's called Bella Tribe. So they can follow me there. And my Instagram is Darlyn Ty-Nilo if you want to follow me.
All right,
Yes.
thank you, Dar, for being with us today.
Thank you also.
I so love this episode. I got free mentoring, free coaching from Dar. Thank you, Dar.
Thank you.
Yay.
Yeah.